Welcome back to another daily sketchbook painting. Today I'm going to be painting with magenta liquid watercolor paint. I'm going to do a little bit of splattering around, and then I'm going to paint over that with some yellow and white gouache. So I actually put some of the magenta liquid watercolor on a paper towel, and then I kind of almost like punched the page with it a bunch of times. And that created some splatters and kind of the basis for what I'm going to work with. And then I just start going in with the magenta and just adding some shadow areas, and then later on I'll add some highlights to it. I really like painting this way. It takes a lot less mental energy, I think, than painting with reference does. You can kind of just disappear into the painting and leave all of your troubles behind, as I've said before, and just really, especially small. I know that not everybody can paint super small, but this is about 4 by 6 inches or so. So like the size of a photograph. If you remember photographs, you know what's crazy is a lot of people don't remember photographs. I remember photographs. I hope you do too, because this painting is about the size of one of them. And so if you can imagine that size and then just really focusing in on little details within that, that's kind of what it's like. And I do a fair amount of back and forth. This isn't really glazing. It's a little bit different. I guess with watercolor it would be called washes, because I kind of repaint over everything, but you can't really repaint over everything as much as you can with acrylic or oils. With those you can kind of go over everything, and then once the layer dries you can go over that again. With acrylic or with watercolor and gouache, you kind of really get one shot to go over everything, and then you got to wait for it to dry, and then you can't really like scrub with the brush like you can with acrylic and oil, because the paint will just come up. But also, maybe that's what you're going for. So that's one way that you can use it. I'm not using it that way. Oh, I will say too, I should have said this up front probably, the white gouache that I'm using with this is acrylic gouache, which I don't use very often, but I couldn't find my regular white gouache. And acrylic gouache is like a hybrid of gouache and acrylic. And I'm not the biggest fan of it, to be honest, because once it dries, once it sets, it really is, to me, no different than acrylic. I guess it is. Acrylic white will have more of a glossy finish, and matte acrylic gouache will have more of like a matte finish. But I don't know. For what it is, I just prefer the regular gouache, because I do like to reactivate it and blend it and stuff like that, and you can't really do it with this acrylic gouache. This video ended up being way more technical than I wanted it to be, but I really like this character. It reminds me of a lion and a rubber chicken at the same time. That's not the only reason I like it. I like a lot of other things about it too. I like the colors, but I think that it was fun to make, and that's all. Have fun. Good night.